Hey everyone, Leland Best here, BCB Live. I've been seeing a lot of people struggling with getting their GetVokl live broadcasts going, so I just wanted to head over here and show everyone how I've set mine up. I haven't seemed to have too many troubles with them starting, but I have in some cases discovered that the archives may not show up in the end. Not sure if it's the way the signal's closing out. I know Facebook sometimes requires you to hit a done button on occasion. YouTube, probably kind of the same way. There's got to be a good close on the signal when it goes dead so that it knows when to stop the broadcast feed. So I'm just going to show you where I go with it, and we'll see if it fires up proper this morning. I'm looking at this on the 30th of October. So this is the old interface, or the standard interface. It may look different than this by the time you see this video because GetVokl is going through a large interface update. So let's just bear with it and see where it goes from here. Once you get broadcaster rights, if you send an email to the GetVokl team and request it, tell them you're a blabber, tell them I sent you, you should be able to get access to the broadcasting feature. That is when you'll see the mega horn show up on the menu. Now they should look the same in the newer GetVokl series, but the graphics will change extremely on the front end, but most of the features should all function the same. So we're going to go schedule a broadcast. In order to do so, you're going to have to come up with a broadcast topic. Now, that's normally the title of your broadcast. So when we do Wake Up West Coast on Mondays at noon, I come in here and I type in Wake Up West Coast, and I give it an actual full title so that people know it's me. And then I add in a season 1 episode, whatever it might be. Now, in this case, I'm going to make it an episode 0, or better yet, I'm going to make it an episode 99999, so I know this is a bogus video that I can delete later. By putting them in sequence, on the back end, they'll be saved, as you can see behind there on the screen. The 3 video series, I mislabeled one because I had season 1 episode 1, season 1 episode 2, and then the third one there, the 1 hour and 34 seconds below in this video, doesn't have that season and episode number in there that people could see on the replay, or myself anyway. This replay feature will change when the channels are opened up for individual broadcasters. So then you decide what's the description of your video. In a lot of cases, mine is just come join in the conversation, because that's really what Wake Up West Coast is all about. So I add in maybe a few other comments here, bring your friends, snacks and coffee, welcome, that kind of stuff. So you'll see that a lot in my broadcast descriptions. And then my category, I'll go over to other in most cases because they do not have networking yet. I hope in the near future there will be many more categories to choose from automatically that will work into your niche that you can broadcast to so that people can find you as a discovery mode. The timing on the broadcast all depends on when you want to broadcast. Keep in mind, on Facebook, in order to do a Facebook Live, you're going to need to schedule the broadcast at least 11 minutes prior to when you're going to broadcast. You have to be careful there. Because of that time restriction Facebook puts on you, you have to work a little ahead of time. So if you're going to do a broadcast at 8 a.m., let's say, for instance, I'm going to do one this morning at 9. So I'm just going to play around. Better yet, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a, let's GetVokl, and just kind of for the sake of it. Okay. And I'll just do, that'll be my actual broadcast. Demoing the broadcast feature. Okay, that should do it. And that way I can draw some people into this later at 9 o'clock so we can play it. So I got 9 a.m. I'm not going to add any co-hosts or invite any friends. I don't normally do this yet. I know it's a feature they want us to utilize, but I'm not so sure that it's something I would use in my business or the way I use the system. I don't tend to email people invites. I would prefer to just have the people in my friends list here on GetVokl receive a notification when I prepare one of these. In order to broadcast to your social accounts, you have to turn them on. Okay, so by turning these switches on, and it's not made very obvious by GetVokl, and I hope the team catches up on that, that when you do broadcast, most people just see this and they say connect their social accounts. Okay, well, that's great. I think I already did that. So they forget to turn these back on each time they come out here. So every time you come to broadcast, you can decide, well, do I just want to broadcast to Facebook? Do I want to broadcast to Facebook and Periscope? Or do I want to broadcast to all three at the same time? I think the hover can make it a little bit confusing at first, where it highlights these buttons, but just go ahead and make sure all these are lit up if you're going to broadcast to both. Now, or all three. I don't normally broadcast to Periscope anyway. I think you'll find others feel the same way. I'm not a big fan of Periscope or Twitter, so I just don't tend to broadcast there. But for reach, if you have followers on Twitter, why not start broadcasting there? If the feature is here and all you have to do is click a button, let's go for it. So let's connect those accounts. The way we do that is we make sure through these, on this third step, that we've taken all these tabs for these settings, and obviously you people are going to see my code, so I'm going to go ahead and change these out when this is done, or I will blind these out before I actually get you to see the video, and that way you won't be able to see my code. So we'll see what happens before, if I have time to just scrub those out. All right, so you'll enter the RTMP server and server streaming key that are given to you by Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Now the way you do that is simple. You go over to a tab, and you're first going to go to Facebook. You're going to head over to one of your broadcast pages. So I highly recommend you have a broadcast page. If you're not broadcasting to Facebook on a page, then you're really not doing it right in the first place. Hi Heather, I know you're leaving messages. I just have to wait. You're making it you're making little noises as I'm making a video. Okay, so here's my Leland Best Live page. This is where I broadcast all of my stuff to. So I'm going to go create a live event. And in order to do so, you can do this two ways. You either have Facebook, there I am, access the camera. I haven't gotten a shower yet, so sorry. Access the camera immediately, but what you need to do is go to that connect button at the top. And when you do so, that takes you to this screen. And what you need to do is set a persistent stream key. And the information is right here. If you hover over this little eye, it says this can be reused every time you go live. You can only broadcast one live video at a time with your persistent stream key. So that should be a clue. Make sure you're only sending one signal to that key at a time. If you try to use more than one device to send a signal to that key, Facebook will boot it out and you won't be able to use that key at that time. What happens if you don't have this, you see it automatically change the stream key down here to a new number. Now that's okay for me because you guys have already seen my key, and this is actually a new key, but I will even make a third key after that simply by hitting this switch. I can make a new persistent stream key, or take the one that it gives me and then copy that, or reset it if I need to. Now I will reset it if I don't scrub this key out, so you won't be able to use my key, but anyone that has this key can broadcast to your Facebook page. So be very, very careful who gets access to this string. So you copy that out, but at the same time, while you're here creating this video, you may as well say something like, join in the discussion over on GetVokl. And then what you'll do is you'll come back to the tab here. You haven't actually made this yet, but what you need is that string to drop in here as your streaming key. So once you enter that streaming key in, then you can go ahead and finish off with YouTube as well and Periscope. Now the Facebook URL is always the same no matter what your account is, where you're located at. This string will always be RTMP /live-api.facebook.com:80, which is the port that is used to send the signal to, and then the simple /code RTMP, which is referring to the real-time media protocol, or messaging protocol. I'm sorry, I always use the word media and it's not correct. That is used to send the data to Facebook. So we'll do the same thing with YouTube. Now, this is really all we need to do with Facebook. We need to put a title on it, of course. So in this case, Let's Get Vocal would be what it was that we're setting up. And then any tags that you want to add in. Your embed code is here if you want to place this on your website as well. You can go ahead and copy this embed code over to an HTML page, put it on your website, and have that live broadcast also show up over there. Go ahead and schedule it. I usually come over here and you'll notice right away, if you look down at my clock, it says 8:06. Okay, up here it says 8:17. So Facebook has already immediately belted me with an 11-minute protocol basically that says I can't broadcast until 8:17 a.m. at minimum. So I need to keep that in mind if I'm going to set up a Facebook post for my GetVokl broadcast. If I'm going to do a GetVokl at 8, well, I'm already too late. I can't do a GetVokl at 8, and it's 8:06 anyway. Let's say I want to do it at 9. Well, I just put in 9 o'clock here. But if I'm coming late, let's say it's 8:45, I better hurry up and get over here and schedule this before 8:49, or Facebook won't broadcast until after 9 a.m. I hope that sinks in. It's not difficult to understand if you just think about it for a minute. Facebook is always pushing you 11 minutes into the future to broadcast. Just keep that in mind. Don't come 11 minutes late or even 10 minutes late to get your broadcast set up, because once you hit that 8:50 mark before 9 a.m., you're automatically going to cause Facebook to force your broadcast open at 9:01. All right, so I'm going to upload an image. I usually use something like the Wake Up West Coast, but in this case, I'm just going to do a Cookie Monster. Basically, that one's not as good as I want, though. I'm going to drag it into position a little bit. Maybe something like that. All right, and then that's about it. So you make sure you check the date, make sure the time is correct, and then schedule. So this should go away. You won't see anything after this. I didn't even put the link to come over to GetVokl yet because I haven't created it. Normally I wouldn't do this on Facebook until I already had the schedule set up on GetVokl, but because you guys haven't seen how to prepare it the first time, you need to know where to start. So we're going to go down and look for that video. This was one from yesterday that I did on Monday, I'm sorry. This is the new one. So there's Cookie. Everything's scheduled. What I like to do is make sure people know they can get a reminder here that will be broadcast by Facebook 3 minutes prior to the video going live. And then from here, I pin it to the top of the page. So if I send anyone over to my broadcast today, I simply say, head over to Leland Best Live, at Leland Best Live, and look for the pinned post at the top of the page. And when you go live, what's also going to happen is over in your videos section, your featured video will be your live video. So you can also send people to this page. So there's always a choice that you can make. In this case, this was a video that I set to be the featured video, and it will not remain the featured video, but it will stay the featured video for as long as you're broadcasting live. And then that'll go away, and whatever you've saved here under this setting to change the featured video or even edit the description, you can pull it away if you'd like, but I don't recommend people remove their featured videos from Facebook. Okay, so that we're all set on Facebook. Let's head over to YouTube. So now we got to set up YouTube. On YouTube, it's very simple. I still tell people to use the old Creator Studio, not the new. It's a little difficult to find the streaming key on the new one. So you head over to, glad you guys can't hear that. You might hear it on the mic. Right here under the Video Manager, you head to Videos. You come down to Live Streaming. You'll see the ones that have come in. Now you're going to want to create somewhat of a show card, I think I call it anyway, for your thumbnail on your channel for YouTube. What you can basically do is change that thumbnail here. I just simply use the logo for Leland Best Live. I'm offline currently, but what I need to do is head down here at the bottom, and there's the RTMP URL that's used in the first position, which is here on YouTube. The first position is this, so there's the feed. And then we'll head back to YouTube and make sure we grab the stream key, which you can't see it right now. If I reveal it, then it's going to show it to you, and then I can copy that and I can hide it again. But because you've all seen it, I'm going to also reset it now that I've moved away from this window. And as you can see here, anyone with this key right here, it says anyone with this key can live stream on your YouTube channel. Keep it secret. So I've basically given it away by taking and copying. You can do it either way, copy or just hit it there. So I'm going to go ahead and reset it when I'm done here making this video. All right, so that's entered here, and it's entered as the stream key. If you enter a new stream key, it will resave the stream key in GetVokl, so you don't have to enter it after this anymore. And then, of course, Periscope. So for Periscope, what we need to do is head over to Periscope Producer. If you don't have Periscope Producer, I've never been to it. It's pretty simple to find. I've got a shortcut here somewhere that I go to get to it. So basically, it's periscope.tv/account/producer. You see it up there at the top. And you'll have several sources if you've created more than one. Since you already see all my stream keys here, I'm just going to go ahead and remove all these because I don't really need them all anymore. I don't use them like I used to. So what you might find when you come to Periscope Producer is this, and this is all you might see. Some may already have a source added to Periscope to input their video. So you're going to create a new source. It's just a normal source unless you have a 3D camera and you want to add a 3D camera to your system. What you're going to get here is the streaming server. And if you just click on it, it copies it. So you come back over to GetVokl, enter that into the make sure you're on the Periscope tab. Make sure that you're on the right tab when you enter these new numbers in here, because if you're on the wrong tab and enter the wrong keys, it will still work as long as they're in the right place. I suspect these tabs are just placeholders. So even if you do enter the wrong data under the wrong tab, you might be streaming to a different location than you think you are, but you would probably still be able to stream out, because RTMP is basically the same through all platforms. Doesn't really matter which platform you're on. And I'll explain really quick why this is done this way. The only way Facebook allows you to stream simultaneously to Facebook and other sites like YouTube and Periscope is if you're streaming from the RTMP servers, which means you're using software to come into the back-end ingest servers of Facebook, which allow people to broadcast video to it. Otherwise, people use the front-end native interface through Facebook, which was what you saw when I first went live here on the camera at the beginning through WebRTC and the browser. This is the API. This is not allowed to be used alongside of YouTube or Periscope to broadcast out simultaneously. So that's why we have to do these things manually on GetVokl. If it were connected to the API that allows you to simply go live through the front end status bar, then it would not allow you to simulcast. So that's the reason we do that. All right, so we're back here. Other than that, we've got all three of these sources set up. Now we can get the stream key as well from here. Copy that out the same way. Go back to GetVokl. Head over to Periscope. Drop that stream key. Now there's a flaw that I have noticed right there in Periscope. Here on Facebook and YouTube, the settings are being saved automatically. I've entered this setting for Periscope before, and it's not saving the key. So that's one of the things that people at GetVokl are going to have to fix if they have not before the time that they've seen this video. All right, we're going to schedule our broadcast. There it is. Shows right up. October 30th, 9 a.m. Let's GetVokl for the sake of it. That's going to be our broadcast. So we can go ahead and copy this, edit, enter the room, copy the link, or delete that broadcast so that people don't know what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do right now, first off, is I'm going to enter the room. And what I do is I make sure the seats are locked. And then from there, you'll see there's a start broadcast button here and that you're not recording. So it's going to take somebody sitting in this spot in order to start the broadcast and get things going. But I'm not going to do that just yet. What I like to do is come over here and say, hey, welcome to the room. I am working on a tutorial, which you guys can hear me typing. I'll be presenting it as close to 9 a.m. as possible. Look for me, okay? Have a seat and hang out. Okay, so what that allows me to do is put this little cue in to the chat so people know to come by. Now, I'm not going to actually have to get in a seat. I'm just going to unlock the seats. And now this is all set up for anybody that wants to come by and see what's going on over here to jump in, maybe grab a seat, chit-chat before I show up and talk about it, okay? So I'm going to come over here. Actually, I'm going to change the time on. No, I kind of want to change the time on that. Let's do this. Let's say I want to change the time. Let's say I got a problem. So I got to run over here. I got to edit this. All right. I need to change the time. I'm going to go to 10. Let's go to 10 a.m. Okay, everything's good. I'm good on the connected accounts. Everything's on. Okay. If I turn them off, they go away. So they need to be on. Make sure you've got the ones on that you want to broadcast to. Connect. Make sure my settings are right. Good. Periscope's there this time. Okay, update. Now I got to head over to Facebook because I got to update that event. How do I do that? Well, I don't see it right now. Let's go down here. Here we go. Edit my details. Down here, I can change it. I can manually start it or edit the schedule. Same numbers, same stuff still here. I never did do anything but put Let's GetVokl. Now, I didn't put that link in here. Let's come over here, edit this. Let's go into the room, okay? If I go into the room, or copy the link. I could have done either one. Right there where it says copy the link, that link is the same as what's in the URL bar when you go over there. So I'm just going to copy the link, head over here, and I'm going to tell people where they can join us. So there's the link. Now I can go ahead and edit the schedule and come over here and make it 10 o'clock. Okay, save it. Good, interested, save, schedule. Now it's going to change the time. Okay, now it should say 10. Now you're not going to see it right away because it is going to have to queue up on Facebook. It has to go through a buffer. It has to get basically reassessed by Facebook to know, okay, there's been a change over here on this, and it will take some time to change the time. Now you can see it says 10 a.m. I just refreshed the browser. Okay, so that's it. We're over here on GetVokl. We've got a 10 a.m. broadcast ready to go. People will be able to see what's going on, and if you head over to the main page, you will see that that starts at 10 a.m. There's going to be another broadcast at 11 by Jen Vasquez. So we're just going to make this a short, sweet one. You can make this, put it on your calendar, tell people to click on this calendar link. They can add it to their Google, Apple, Outlook, Outlook.com mail, which is interesting, or Yahoo, which I don't recommend at all. But that's where we're at. So hope that helps everyone set up a broadcast out here at GetVokl. And then from there, obviously, anyone that comes by, come and hang out with us. We're usually over here at Welcome to GetVokl so that everybody can find us right off the bat. You can come out and start your own private vocal. This is much different than a broadcast. If you do this and start a topic of discussion and create your room, you will have a private room that you can send links out to for you and others to simply sit in and have a very similar conversation, four squares, chat, all that cool stuff going on without the ability to broadcast out. Now, one thing to keep in mind is with the broadcast feature, you will also have your archives. Okay, so as you see here, I have 3 episodes of Wake Up West Coast. You can come over here and there's 3 things you can do on the newer videos, but only 2 things you can do on the older videos. You can delete or download the video. Now, you can also not only delete and download the video, but you can also download the audio feed, which is great for podcasts and any other kind of repurposing that you want to do with your audio. So, hope that helps. If this wasn't enough and you need any more questions answered, simply get a hold of me. You can find me out there at Wake Up West Coast at noon on Mondays, or a lot of the times, anytime during the day. Just kind of give me a shout and see if you can find me, or send me an email, leland@bcblive.com. We'll talk to you later. See you in the next video. Take care and have a great week. For all the info you need on live stream video, check us out at bcblive.com.